Hey everyone, wanted to give a quick update what we're doing recently. So I guess first and foremost here you can see I'm getting ready to put the engine and the transmission together. I think I may have done something wrong here. So I'll have to pull this transmission out of the way, but I connected the torque converter to the flex plate, and I'm now being told that I should have put the converter into the transmission and then slide all that up onto the flex plate. They're doing it this way can ruin the pump in the 4L80. So I'm going to go ahead and change that up. I guess next up then, coming back around to here, I still need to paint this engine bay, but I decided to put the motor in and mock that all up. So you can see I got my motor mounts, K-member, all that's done. I decided over here that I'm just going to use a proportioning valve and get rid of the ABS permanently. I also picked this motor up yesterday. This is just a Gen 3 4.8. I think it's a 2000. And most of what I'm going to use that for is just to pull the front accessories off, as well as anything else I may need to scavenge off of it. And then I'll still have the complete long block and wiring harness and ECU and all that. But the focus that I have today is I really would like to get this thing put together and get it dropped into the motor. So I guess without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and change up how I have that flex plate, or pull the torque converter off the flex plate, put it in the transmission, then bolt that up. And then I think I'm ready to drop this in. So I'll take you guys along for that. Alright y'all, so I'm going to go ahead and just show you how I've been doing this here. I did have this thing almost together here, so I don't know how easy this is going to wiggle off. Not easy, okay. There we go. Okay. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but the way that I understand you have to do this is you just have to spin your converter around until you get the bolts into the opening where the starter would go, and then at that point you can take them off. Not the right size. Very well here, but that extension isn't going to work. By the way, if any of you guys are buying the Milwaukee M12 1/4-inch setup, do not get the hex. Such a pain in the ass to have your bit fall out all the time. You might have been starting to loosen up there. There we go. So I'm just going with the stock torque converter for the moment, just to get this thing up and running and kind of see where boost comes in, where it makes power at and everything before I spec out a torque converter for it. But I will tell you, these stock 4L80 torque converters are crazy heavy. I cannot believe how heavy they are. Okay. So, torque converter slid back in there, so I'm going to take this, slide it back onto this, and then repeat the process for those 3 bolts. That's the plan anyway. So we will see how it goes. Okay. I don't know if that'll stay or not. So I actually think I need to pick the motor up just slightly in order to get this to line up. So. See if that works. So something here is not lining up correctly. There we go. I did not have the torque converter back in quite all the way, so you can see here that the pads for this are basically even there, which I still don't see how it works. I feel like that needs to be way inset in order to match up with these. Like my bell housing bolts need to be, or bolt faces need to be significantly out, you know, that far. Alright everyone, so I got the transmission onto the motor. One thing to make sure when you do that I ran into is to make sure that your torque converter is fully seated all the way back. Your torque converter bolt faces will be like roughly 1 inch maybe in from your bell housing bolt face. That gives you space for for your flex plate and everything to stick out from the back of the block. So what I'm doing right now here is I'm trying to pick this thing up, hopefully without dumping transmission fluid everywhere again like I just did. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing that and see how it goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and come back here, pick this tail shaft up. It was leaking everywhere, and then set it in there. And I'm just gonna let that drain. Might give this one more jack here to if we shoot around here, now you can see we just have training fluid pouring out of this thing. So I guess a quick piece of advice is make sure your transmission is empty before you do this. So you can see right now some of the stuff on the side here is a little jacked up. I believe that's broken, and that's fine. Right now I'm just putting this in so that I can mock up my hot and my cold side to see what all I'm going to need to cut away in the engine bay here, and then I'm going to end up pulling it out again anyway. But I just want to get this done so I can figure out where I'm going to put my wastegates, see what all I need to cut for the intercooler, any cold side piping, as well as try to place the down pipes a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and let this drain for a little bit, and then we'll be back. All right, everyone, so let that drain. You can see I got it ready here. I'm just about to try to put this in, hoping that the lift will go high enough. Ooh, that made me feel sketchy. Okay. I'm just touching on here. Ooh, did. You can see I got my steam line up here, right? You can see I just smashed it in there, so that sucks. I think this motor probably has one that I can steal off of it, but I obviously would prefer not to crush that, so. Hey everyone, I just want to give a quick update. My GoPro died, so I'm just doing this on my phone real quick. But basically, you can see I got the motor in, motor mounts are in. Right now, the transmission is just being held up by my floor jack back there. But it's in, so I can mock everything up. And should be getting to that here, hopefully over the Thanksgiving break. Should have some free time to do all that. Immediate plans are to put this 4.8 on the engine stand and then get this thing put away. First, I got to clean up my mess that I made here while I was doing this. But looking forward to mocking up these manifolds, the turbos, you know, all the actual fun stuff. So, till next time, see you later.